Hello, and welcome to Mentoring Mondays with Dr. K. I'm incredibly excited to be with you today and to launch this brand new video series. So, in honor of International Mentoring Month and the new year and fresh starts, I'd like to offer an introductory 4-part series called Mentoring 101. Over the next 4 Mondays, my hope is to create a nice foundation for our engagement by providing you with some great resources, some terms and definitions for our shared understanding, some new perspectives to consider, and even I'll throw in a little homework for our continued learning. At the end of the series, I hope that you walk away with a basic understanding of the who, the what, the why, and the how of mentoring, and feel empowered to experiment with some new strategies you've gained to help you along your way. So, in this first episode, we are going to start with the what of mentoring, or a better way to phrase it is as a question. What is mentoring? I'm so glad you asked. The concept of mentorship has been around for centuries, but the first use of the term was reported in the 1600s. Since then, the concept of mentoring has been defined and refined by many scholars and practitioners. As defined by Webster Dictionary, mentoring is the influence, guidance, or direction given by a trusted counselor or guide, also known as the mentor. Recently, in my work with scientists, students, and those interested in quality mentoring, I have adopted a comprehensive definition of mentorship developed by some of my colleagues, even some of my favorite mentors with the National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine. There, mentorship is defined as a professional working alliance in which individuals work together over time to support the personal and professional growth, development, and success of the relational partners through the provision of career and psychosocial support. Now, that was a mouthful, and I wouldn't want you to be intimidated by this definition of mentoring, because mentoring is all around us, and I'm sure you're engaged in thoughtful mentoring relationships that you hadn't even considered. For example, mentoring is the wise advice that you receive from your mom, your dad, or even your grandma before your first interview. It's the helpful neighbor that helps the kids advertise and boost their cookie and candy sales in the neighborhood. Or even the supportive colleague or coworker who shares their wisdom and insights about your company to help you learn, grow, and succeed in your new position. Really, mentoring is about building a genuine connection with someone who wants to see you thrive. And that brings us to our 5 key ingredients of a successful mentoring relationship. And we'll use the National Academy's definition that I just provided to highlight these 5 important traits. First, there are terms used such as alliance, relational partners within this definition, which means that mentoring is a relationship. In effective mentoring relationships, these are built on healthy relationship dynamics of reciprocity and collaboration, so that individuals in the relationship work together to achieve both common and individual goals. Secondly, mentorship requires a time investment. In order for the partners to learn about each other and build trust, that won't happen overnight, so it's important to dedicate time for the relationship to grow and mature. While we also recognize that mentorship is formally viewed as a professional activity, what I appreciate about this definition is that there is an acknowledgement of a personal component to mentoring, which means that mentoring can be both personal and professional and allows you to show up as your full selves. This integration and the removal of the belief that you have to leave behind important parts of your identity in order to thrive in certain spaces ensures that you're able to fully leverage your talents and skills, and you will be able to receive guidance and direction based on truth. We are humans with beautifully unique and compelling paths, and by acknowledging the personal component, we are able to build effective mentoring relationships grounded in trust and transparency. We also see terms such as growth, development, and success, meaning that mentorship is growth oriented and it's about enhancing your knowledge, your talents, and your skills. Although mentoring relationships generally consist of individuals with more experience and others with less experience, these dynamics are not one directional and are quite mutually beneficial so that all members are learning and growing over the course of the relationship. And finally, mentoring is about giving and receiving support, which means that there are open and ongoing avenues for communication around expectations and needs in order to ensure that your goals are being met. Now that we have a clear sense about what mentoring is, I want to give you some homework. So, for a brief mentoring moment, I invite you to consider a few reflective questions. Please feel free to jot this down on your spare time, and also feel free to share your comments in the chat so that we can participate in shared learning. So, the first question that I would like to offer for you is, of the 5 traits of mentoring that we just discussed, which of these traits are most important to you in your own mentoring relationships? For me personally, I find that the personal component is incredibly important. By being able to acknowledge that there is my full humanity that I can bring into these spaces, I have been able to grow and thrive and really find a niche for myself within my own field. And secondly, as we prepare for our next segment, I want you to think about who in your life has been an influential mentor and what influence did they have on you. For me, I have had many incredible mentors in my life, and I will be able to share some stories about these individuals in our next segment. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in to Mentoring Mondays. I hope you found this useful and learned something new. I look forward to engaging with you in the comments. You can also feel free to send me a message at drk@kellydix.com. Again, that is drk@kellyddiggs.com, and I look forward to engaging you again thoughtfully within the comments. Happy mentoring, and I look forward to seeing you next Monday. Take care.